Good morning, everyone. Excuse me, my voice is feeling a little bit strange today. So if I start coughing in the middle of the class, I'm sorry. But this also is interesting as it is still the topic of self-love. So today, as a way to kind of really fully embody what I'm talking about, today will be a short meditation followed by some journaling. So not so much yoga this morning until I allow my body and myself to rest a little bit. I think it's good morning. I think that is important. So this morning, again, it'll be a short meditation followed by some journaling. So if you have a journal, if you have something that you'd like to write with today, preferably paper pen type media, just to disconnect again. Even the class itself, having the yoga class on a computer, it's nice to have a bit of disconnect every once in a while. Good morning. So if you're just joining in, trying to really practice what I preach. And today, feeling a little bit tired, feeling a little bit like I need a little bit of meditation, a little bit of journaling. So the idea of this 30-day challenge, it was never going to be one of those challenges where it's all about the physical, it's all about pushing the body. It's more about really pausing and connecting to the body and connecting to see how you're feeling each morning. So today I would like to focus on the meditation aspect and the journaling. So take a moment to grab your yoga mat, something to sit on, a nice pillow, or if you've got a favorite spot maybe in your house or in nature and you want to kind of just put me on in the background and really watch what's happening around you in your environment, you're welcome to do that as well. If you are, exactly, the energy is intense, yes. So depending on where you are in the world and depending on your beliefs, there's lots happening right now energetically. So I think it is important, not only for self-care, that when we feel a lot happening energetically, we pause, but also to help integrate. So we are constantly picking up messages from people that we talk to through social media, through everything that we're reading. So it can be a lot. There's a lot happening globally right now. There's a lot of shifts happening. So a lot of big changes happening energetically. So it's also important that we kind of sit, ground into it, so that we can go with the change instead of kind of being stuck and being left behind. Let's all go with it. So put me on in the background. It's not about me. Find a space where you feel comfortable, where you can sit. Again, if you are lucky enough to be surrounded by nature, really taking advantage of that in this moment, connecting to that grounding energy. And today, actually, I think we will start with our meditation on our feet, and then we'll transition down to the ground and into the journal. Okay. I'm also going to give you a little bit of a warning. Rosie the yoga dog was here this morning, and she wanted to go outside. So at some point in this meditation, you might hear her barking to come back in. I apologize for that. She is kind of the ruler of the house and she does what she wants. So, bearing with me with that. So, today, meditation journaling. Have your journaling stuff off to the side. Find a space where you can connect with nature, connect with your environment. And just have me kind of as a background guide, so you don't need to watch. You can if you want to. And here she comes. Rosie the yoga dog. She's gonna come right. Hi. There, good girl. Okay. So we're gonna come all the way up to standing. Just take a moment to shift the weight across the feet. You can close the eyes, really tuning in to the sensations. Noticing just where you're carrying and holding your weight as you stand. Maybe take a moment, stop, and just kind of stand naturally. Noticing if you shift your weight more to one side. Generally, women kind of hip hop and put all of their weight on one leg, and this leg just kind of stands there. So see if you can really bring both feet down to the ground, send the weight, thinking about almost having four corners of that foot. Good morning, neighborhood. So trying to press down through the big toe, out through the pinky toe, and the back corner of the foot. Feeling that connection down through the ground. And bring your attention, once you've found kind of a spot where you can keep the weight, where it feels like you're pressing evenly, you're being held through both feet. Bring your attention up to your knees. And with the knees, think about having a soft bend. So a lot of times when we do yoga, it's very much about keeping everything straight and everything active. But here today, I want you to have a little bit of a bend in those knees. And just notice, just by bending the knees, what happens to the feet. You can close the eyes or keep the eyes open. And start to tune into your breath. Allowing the breath to move through the body. Connecting down through the feet. Feeling strong through the feet, feeling that ground support you. And roll the shoulders up, back, and away, allowing them to soften. Maybe as you close your eyes here, feeling that natural, gentle sway in your body. That natural sway of your own energy, your own blood. Kind of like a leaf in the wind. Reminding ourselves that even when we're still, there's still a lot of movement. The movement of the lungs expanding, pressing down on the diaphragm, massaging the organs down as you breathe in. And that lift, almost like a suction behind the belly button as you breathe out, the ribs and lungs compress. Tuning into those internal sensations of breathing in, feel the ribs and lungs expand, pushing down the diaphragm, a little massage for those internal organs on the in-breath. As you exhale, diaphragm, ribs float up and come in. Taking a couple of breaths here, really noticing all of that movement in the torso. Keeping the feet heavy and connected. Noticing how it feels just to stand without the intention of going anywhere or doing anything. This right here is your practice. When that mind wanders to those to-do lists, those expectations, the things that have already happened, can you bring it back to the body? Back to the sensation of those four corners of your feet pressing down. That gentle movement of breath. Taking your time and taking 3 more full breaths here, breathing into this moment. Breathing into that natural sway of the body. Breathing into all of those sensations in your environment. One more big breath here. And very slowly, without thinking about getting to the destination, just start to roll through the feet, placing the heel all the way down through the toes. Enjoying the sensation of walking. Rolling through the heels, down through the toes. Slowing down those movements. Teacher that I follow, Thich Nhat Hanh, Buddhist Zen monk, says, walk as if your feet are kissing the earth, sending peace and love through every step. If you're somewhere in nature, I invite you to take your shoes off, get barefoot, go play. Letting the dirt or the mud squish through the toes. Enjoying your movements, maybe syncing them with breath. Every in-breath, take a step. Every out-breath, take another step. Maybe close the eyes if you're in a space where that feels safe. Enjoying a couple more breaths with your steps here. And in your own time, again, with not thinking about that destination. If you start to think about where you're going or that destination, stop, take a breath. Noticing how much we run on that autopilot. Come back to breath. And slowly make your way back to your journal. And today, same with every journal exercise that we do, I would like you to write without trying to create something. So write just to write. Okay, so if you're unsure where to start, I'll be giving a few prompts throughout. But if the prompt I give, if you're still working on that first piece, or if you feel called to write in a different direction and words are just coming, go with it. This is more for when we kind of get stuck, when that thinking mind tries to come back in and tries to control and navigate. Okay, so let's take our journal, take your pen. Close your eyes for just one moment to arrive here into this next activity. Remembering that the practice of arriving is a practice. Changes every day. So let's listen to the sound of the bell here to help bring that thinking mind back into our body to start our day. In your own time, you can gently blink open your eyes. Take your pen to your paper and write about the topic of boundaries. Big topic. So boundaries within ourselves, boundaries of when we know, how we know in our physical body, or how we know in our mind when it's time for us to slow down. How we know when we need to take a little bit of a rest, take a break. What does that look like for you? So just writing whatever comes to mind. How do I know when there's a boundary that needs a little bit more support? What happens in my body? What sensations come up? If you like, there's some really great music by East Forest. You can turn on in the background. I can turn it on. This might be nice to, up to you. Might be nice to have some music on, or you can just enjoy the sounds of nature around you. You can put the link to the sound in the chat on the side, so that if you decide that you would like to have music, you can click on the link and it will open up in Spotify. If you have your own music, or again, if you would like to just to write without having any other distractions, sometimes music can be a distraction. Sometimes a welcome distraction. If you're still writing about boundaries and when you know that you need a rest, those personal boundaries, feel free to keep writing. If you're feeling a little bit stuck, maybe you'd like to go on to what can I do for myself when I feel this boundary has been crossed. What are ways that I can express this? What are ways that I can allow other people to better understand me and what I need? Remembering that this will be different for everyone, and that's part of the beauty of it. So really taking your time to examine this for yourself. How do I share so that other people can understand, other people can receive when they've crossed a boundary? And again, feel free to keep writing on that if you need more. You can write about who I would like to be. So this ideal version of self in terms of boundaries, in terms of those relationships that we have with people that challenge us. Who would I like to be for my own energy, for that next generation, for the world? Remembering that we're all in this together. We all have this collective energy that we share. So what energy do I want to put into this world? Who do I want to be? And don't worry if nothing's coming to mind. You can write nothing's coming to mind and then stream of conscious kind of flow. See what comes out. There's no right or wrong way to do this. So in my strongest, most confident version of me, what does that look like? Trying not to jump into that comparing mind to the you are now. Just writing in terms of what and who you want to be energetically with those people that challenge you, those boundaries. Taking a couple more minutes here, just finishing whatever comes to mind. If you've already finished and something else comes up that you want to write down, feel free to write that down. On that same vein of boundaries and respect for self. Taking about 1 more minute here. And then finishing that train of thought, writing in your journal. And place your pen down once you finish that thought. And then sit up nice and tall. Roll the shoulders up, back, and away. Bring the hands somewhere where they can rest comfortably, palms up or down. And in your mind, I want you to see this strong, confident version of yourself, that version that can express the things that they need in a way that's understood, in a way that is received. That energy of strength, of knowing who we are, and having that respect for self, so that when a boundary is crossed, there's a way to walk through that, to talk through it. And as you visualize this version of self, full of confidence, I want you to start to add in all those qualities that you wrote down about what that ideal you is, who they are, how they carry themselves. Start to add those ingredients into this picture of you. And as you work on this, bring your left hand to the heart, right hand on top of the left. And recognize that all of those qualities, all of those things that you want in this ideal version of self, you already are. You already are strong, confident, able to say no to the things that you really want to say no to. Allowing this version of you to integrate into self, connecting with her or him. Taking one more big breath here. Bow the head as a symbol of gratitude to yourself. All versions of you, all are welcome. And practice for the rest of the day, checking in to this strong, confident, ideal version of you that already exists. Just behind that left hand. thank you guys so much for joining in today. Have a great rest of your day. If there's any insights or comments or anything you'd like to share, feel free to type it in the chat box on the side. I'd love to hear how that practice was for you. Yeah, if not, if you don't feel comfortable sharing, that's fine too. You can always message me privately. I'm here. All right. We'll have a great rest of your day. And we'll see you tomorrow. Oh, thank you, Dorothy. Thanks, Mom. Bye, guys.